other people's ego can draw you into things, and if you're not checking your ego, you get drawn into it, and you're emotionally and spiritually affected by that interaction. Greetings, welcome back to Dark Feminine Consciousness. I am Tefara. Now, someone asked me how to cleanse their aura. There are many ways to cleanse your aura, but today we're going to talk about spiritual baths. How to do a spiritual bath. Taking spiritual baths is an ancient practice. Lots of our ancestors used spiritual baths to cleanse their aura or ori. Our ancestors understood the power of using the water element for purification of the mind, body, and soul. They also understood the power of using the spirit of plants along with the elements, the water elements. Well, they used all the elements really, but the water element for purification. Everybody knows water and the purpose of water. We use water to bathe. It is no different with our bodies and our spirit. Water is cleansing. The fact that we use it daily to clean everything around us tells us about how cleansing water is. It's good to cleanse every day. You may not be able to do a bath every day, but I suggest you do a spiritual bath at least once per month. It's important to cleanse your spirit. If you want to stay pure, if you want to have a clear mind, if you want to stay on your spiritual journey, it is important to do cleanses, because you are in this physical space and you are affected by everything around you. And so in order to stay pure, you have to constantly do purification. I spoke about this in the Sacred Living podcast. One of the episodes I spoke about the power of purification. You can go back and look, and I'll link it here so you can watch it after you're done watching this. But yeah, I did go through that, and I spoke about the benefits of purification, particularly for meditation. For me, I have the best meditations when I purify before I meditate. So you do cleansing to protect yourself from others. You do cleansing to protect yourself from yourself, even yourself, because you have an ego, and sometimes your ego can get attached to things. Sometimes other people's ego can draw you into things, and if you're not checking your ego, you get drawn into it, and you're emotionally and spiritually affected by that interaction. So you have to constantly cleanse your spirit to check your own ego and make sure that you are approaching things from your purest self. And you can reset. You can do a reset and revisit something. You can revisit an argument, a disagreement. Maybe you have a decision to make and you don't want it to be clouded by an advice that somebody else gave. You don't want it to be impacted by somebody else's doubt. Don't want it to be clouded by previous experiences either. So you want to make a decision now. So you cleanse before you meditate. If you decide to meditate, if you want to consult your ancestors, you just want to reset your mind, reset your spirit, so that you are able to receive these messages that you're supposed to receive. Clear blockages. Any blockages that are in your way, you are clearing them. You also cleanse to protect from juju, because juju is out there. Trust me, people are doing juju, and people will do juju on you. You have no idea about it. You have no idea why there are some things in your life not working, some things aren't going well, something strange is happening in your life. A lot of times it may or may not be juju, but protect yourself still. It's important to protect yourself always, because anything can happen in this space. You're exposed to all types of things. So spiritual baths are also for protection. Here are 5 ways that you can take a spiritual bath. Number 1, you can do a bath at home. Before you do anything, you have to set your intentions. You have to speak to the water. Water has memory. So you have to speak to it and tell it what you want. Put your impression on it. Speak words of affirmation. Tell the water what it is that you want. You want cleansing. You want a renewal. You want to renew your mind. You want to clear any mental blockages. You want to clear spiritual blockages. You want protection. You speak to the water. You can do the spiritual bath 3 ways, or all of them together. You can use salts. You can use herbs. You can use essential oils. With the herbs, you can boil it and then pour the water into the bath. Sometimes some cleanses will require that you keep the herbs in the bath. It all depends on you and your space, because you don't want to clog up your bath with the herbs either. So if you're gonna use the herbs in the bath, I would prefer if you use like an actual basin, a bath that is separate from your bathtub. I recommend cerasee and neem. Cerasee and neem are both very good cleansing herbs for internal cleansing as well as external cleansing. Cerasee is used in Africa for spiritual baths. Neem is used in India for spiritual baths. If you want to use flowers, you can use, if you're feeling very feminine, maybe you want to tap into more feminine energy, and flowers are great for that, so if you want to use roses, lavender, calendula, whatever plants that you feel called to use. When you are doing your spiritual practice is yours. What I share with you today, if it doesn't resonate with you, do what you feel comfortable doing, because your spirituality belongs to you, nobody else. So you decide what works for you and what you feel comfortable with. If you feel drawn to another plant, use that plant, right? I'm just sharing what I recommend. You can also use salts. Some people use Epsom salt. I like to use sea salt, especially if you can't get to the sea. Use sea salt. There's pink Himalayan salt works as well, but I prefer sea salt. You can use essential oils. My preference for essential oils is lime, bergamot. You can use geranium. You can use tea tree. And again, if you prefer to use the more floral ones, lavender, you can use those. Clary sage. Sage essential oil can be used as well. I use that a lot. I use sage and rosemary a lot when I'm doing a bath. Some people use Florida water and Kananga water. I don't really use those because, truthfully, when it comes to my spiritual practice, I like to keep things very natural, as much as possible. And so I'm not really certain what is in Kananga water or Florida water, so I don't use them. I prefer to make my own. I ask Spirit to guide me in making my own. I know not everybody is like that. Not everybody is gonna have the time or take the effort to do it themselves or feel as creative to do it. I get that. So if you want to buy Florida water or Kananga water, I'm not judging you. This is just my personal preference. If you don't have a bathtub and you have a shower, you can buy a big bath or a small bath, a little basin. A little one, doesn't have to be a big one either. Catch the water in it and use the same things I mentioned. Once your bath is prepared, now, if you have the bathtub at home, you sit in it. You sit in it for a little while. You say your affirmations. You play your music. You light your candles. You light your incense. Create a vibe. Whatever vibe it is that you want, you create with it, right? You know what your intention is. You set it already. So set the mood for your intention and sit in the bath. If you want to repeat affirmations while you're in there and you're pouring the water on yourself, make sure you cover your head with some water as well. Make sure you're covering all of your body with water as you are saying the words of cleansing and removal. It's the same thing that you do if you have a bath. If you have a space where you can go outside and do it, that's great, because you can really make a mess, especially if herbs are in there. If you're at home and you have to do this in a bath, do it in the bath. You don't want to clog up your drain, so it's better you don't put actual herbs in the bath. Some people will just take up the entire bath and pour it on their head and let the water run on them, go right down. I prefer if you do it where you take some water, cleanse your head, cleanse certain parts of your body, and then you pour the rest of it on top. A really good and easily accessible bath to do, because everybody have limes at home, everybody have salt at home. So a salt and lime bath, salt, lime and water. You don't need a big bath for it. If you have a big bowl from your kitchen, you can use it. Put the salt, put the limes, about 5 to 7 limes, and put some sea salt in it, and then you pour it on to your body, over your body. And you do this after you've had a bath. And by the way, with using salt, this is for people who are not hypertensive. If you are hypertensive, I suggest you use the other options for doing spiritual baths. Number 2, you can use rainwater. When it rains, you can collect the rainwater in a bath, in a pan, and then use it later for cleansing in the same way that I spoke before about using the water to wash off yourself, right? You can also go into the rain when it's raining. Just go and stand in the rain. People are afraid of the rain, but it is very beneficial to get a cleanse from the rain. So when it rains, if you're getting a nice shower too, it's good to go out there and just stand there and get a good shower of rain. Rain is very good for cleansing as well. You can cleanse at the river, and you can do the same thing if you want. Last time I did a cleanse at the river, I brought some limes and some salt. Just bring a container that you can use to catch the water, right? But you can also just sit in the water. The water is flowing, and as it is flowing, it is removing. Picture it removing all of what you want cleansed and taking it down the river. Just lie in the river and allow it to wash everything away from you. You can also cleanse with a waterfall, and it is the same process. It's just that waterfalls are a little bit more aggressive than the river. So you sit under a waterfall and just allow it to beat on you for a good 15 minutes. It is good to use affirmations, of course, during this time as well, and speak the cleansing that you want from the waterfall. The other water body that you can cleanse in is the sea. We all know this, as Jamaicans at least. I know we know this because we often say we're going to the beach to wash off the crosses. It's the same thing. It's a bath. It's a spiritual bath that you're taking when you go to the beach. How many of us go to the beach on Sunday and then we go home, we get a really nice rest, and we feel brand new on Monday? Because of the cleansing benefits of the water. Not only the water, but the salt. It's good though. When you go to these water bodies, it is good to bring an offering, right? Because it's an exchange. It's give and receive. That's how it is in nature. You give and take. So I suggest you bring something, whatever. I like to bring incense when I go to the river. If you want to bring fruits, if you want to bring food, if you want to bring honey, if you want to bring rum, liquor, wine, whatever, just bring an offering. If you want to bring crystals, I've often brought crystals to the river as an offering. So whatever you feel comfortable bringing. That's 5 ways that you can do a spiritual bath. It's very simple. It's not complicated. Spirituality is not complicated. You don't need a bag of things. All you need is yourself, really, because your spirit is going to guide you to what you need. Of course, there are many ways that you can do cleansing. It's not just with water. You can use plants to cleanse as well. You can use sound to cleanse. You can use air to cleanse as well, right? We can talk about those in another video. I think I have spoken about all those things actually in many different ways. I think I did a video already about how to cleanse your aura. I'll tag that as well so you can watch that. Although sometimes, when I rewatch my old videos, I'm like, I would update that. But I'm sure there's still beneficial information there for you. I also want to talk about my upcoming retreat, the Dark Feminine Rising Retreat, coming up in June. It is a 2-day retreat for women. I created this space for us because I know the work that we need to do as Black women. I know how disconnected we are from ourselves, disconnected we are from our spirituality, how disconnected we are from our wombs, how disconnected we are from our ancestry. And so this is a space for us to truly get back to that, truly connect to ourselves, connect to our power, our feminine power. It's a space for us to birth a new part of us that will go out there and birth more things and help other people. It is a healing retreat, a return to self retreat, a rites of passage of sorts. You should walk away from this retreat feeling like a new woman, a different woman. And all women are welcome. Young, older women, in between, mothers, women who aren't mothers, women who have had hysterectomies, women who can't have children. All are welcome to this space. All of us are necessary for what is gonna be needed for us to move forward as a nation. And it is time that Black women gather. It is time that Black women learn their power. It is time that Black women lead the way back to ourselves. It is time that Black women realize their responsibility in leading the next generation towards where we are supposed to go. It is up to us to reverse what's happened to us. It is up to us to heal ourselves, heal our children, heal our men, heal our elders, heal our ancestors. We have our ancestors' blood in our veins. They're still in us. So when we heal ourselves, we are healing them. If you want more information on the retreat, I'm gonna put the link in the description box so you can go and check it out. If you're ready to book the retreat, you can book from that webpage as well. There is a link in there if you want to contact me. If you want to talk more deeply, if you want more information about the retreat, we can talk about it. If you want help with booking a flight, if you're abroad, any questions that you have at all, you can reach out to me. I want you to be there. We have limited spaces, but for now, until we can do retreats where we can accommodate much more people, for now we only have 14 spaces available. But don't worry, it will not be the last retreat. So there will be other opportunities if you don't get to be at this one. There's so much more that I want to do as well that can't really fit into a weekend. So join me. Let's gather. Let's harness our energies. Let us heal. Let us chant. Let us sing. Let us dance in the power of our feminine energy. I love you very much. And we will link up in the next video. All right, later.